Namaskar. I am Dr. Aarti Chaudhary, Assistant Professor in the Department of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology at Basant Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Banaras Hindu University. Today, we are going to discuss Module 12 and Lecture 2. This is 12-week course titled History of Science and Technology in Ancient India from Harappan Civilization to 7th century CE. And now we are in our 12th module, and the name of the 12th module is Other Scientific Insights in Ancient India and Archaeological Methods. And the second lecture title is Glass Technology. At first, the learning objective of this topic. So, the first learning objective is to describe the literary and archaeological sources related to the glass technology. The second learning objective is to recognize different type of glass and their use. And the third learning objective is to analyze the range of imported and locally produced glass artifacts. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the literary references of the glass and technique and archaeological evidence of the glass. Glass technology in ancient Indian exemplifies the advanced craftsmanship and scientific acumen of early Indian civilization. Glass was primarily utilized for the creation of decorative items such as beads and jewelry. In addition to these ornamental objects, ancient Indian glassmakers were also skilled in producing glass vessels and tools, demonstrating their ability to refine the material for practical applications. The refinement of glass production process in India highlights a significant level of technological innovation contributing to the broader evolution of glass making practice across ancient civilization. Overall, the history of glass technology in ancient India underscore the integration of artistic creativity with scientific precision, marking a noteworthy contribution to the global legacy of material science and craftsmanship. So, we are going to study this glass technology on the basis of two sources. First one is literary sources and second one is archaeological sources, that what kind of evidences we found from the literature and what kind of sources we found from the different archaeological site by the excavation or by the exploration we just explore in this lecture. The term kaach meaning glass appear in various Sanskrit and Buddhist texts, though it is not in the Rig Veda. Vedic literature like the Taittiriya Brahman, Shatapatha Brahman and Yajurveda refers to the use of glass beads mainly for ornamentation, including threading them with gold and decorating horses during sacrificial ritual like the Ashwamedh. The sutra literature including the Bodhayan Sutra, Bodhayan Srot Sutra and Manav Srot Sutra continue this tradition by referring to glass ornaments. Epic texts such as the Mahabharata and Ramayana also mention glass item and craftsmen known as Kanchkaras, glass makers. Medical treatises like the Charak Samhita and Susrut Samhita highlight the practical use of glass in storing medicine, suggesting that glass vessels were valued for their non-reactive nature. The Yukti Kalpataru even compares the physiological effect of drinking water from glass to that of crystal, indicating a sophisticated understanding of material properties. Buddhist texts such as the Mahavagga and Chulavagga impose ritual restriction on the use of glass items, forbidding monks from wearing glass decorated shoes or using glass balls, indicating both the availability and symbolic implications of glassware. Kautilya Arthashastra 3rd century BCE mentions glass in at least 10 contexts, primarily related to ornaments and manufacturing techniques. It described the use of karanj leaves and cow dung in the furnace to produce glass, while also warning about occupational hazards like blindness due to the toxic fume and materials such as algali, possibly potash. Glass remained significant in classical and medieval Sanskrit text. The Amarkosh 7th century CE lists items like glass cup and vessels. The Puran, including the Matsya, Vishnu and Bhagavad dating to the Gupta period, also refer to Kanch ornaments. Brihad Samhita 6th century CE also mention about glass. The Vyavsaya Yogi Charit, the Vaishya Yogi Charit cut the Vyasya Yogi Charit 15th-16th century CE by Somanath Kavi even mention spectacles suggesting advanced use of transparent materials. In South Indian sources, the Tamil word Palingu in the Manimekalai is considered a reference to glass or crystal. The Bhatti Prolu inscription 2nd century BCE used the Prakrit term Phylika for quartz, reinforcing the antiquity of glass or crystal use in the subcontinent. Classical Western writers like Pliny, Strabo and the Periplus admired Indian glass for its quality, attributing its clarity to the use of rock crystal and pounded quartz, yet local documentation of the industry remains elusive. Now, the technique and archaeological evidence of glass. The term glass refers to a broad category of materials that, while varying in chemical composition and certain physical properties, share a fundamental characteristics. They are formed by cooling from a molten state and to a solid without undergoing crystallization, a process known as undercooling chemically. Gas is typically considered a mixture of silicates. Although glass and glaze differ in their production and application, they are chemically similar as both contain soda or another alkali as a key component. Glaze is typically applied to the surface of another material, while glass stands alone. Both substances are isotropic, meaning they do not alter the color of light when observed through a polariscope. Now, early origins and development of glass making in Mesopotamia and Egypt. Till now, in the starting of this lecture, we have seen the literary sources which explain about the evidence of glass, which explain about the glass, and now we are moving towards the archaeological evidences. Sometimes it is very necessary for the reconstruction of any fact or the for reconstruction of any historical incident, if we found the literary sources and archaeological sources together, then the point is very clear. Then nobody can ask a question regarding the truth, regarding the authenticity of that particular truth. But when we found only literary sources, without archaeological sources, it it just questioning in the data, as well as the archaeological sources is also sometimes is just linear for the information. So, if we bound both literary and archaeological sources together, then the fact is valuable, then it provide a strong base for the reconstruction of any fact in any contemporary period. So, in the glass technology, in reference of the glass technology, luckily we found literary sources and archaeological sources both in abundance, which create very much interesting points regarding the reconstruction of glass technology in India. Now, early origins and development of glass making in Mesopotamia and Egypt. The exact origin of glass making in the ancient world are still debated, with both Mesopotamia and Egypt being considered early center of its development. Some of the earliest known example of glass, specifically blue glass, were uncovered at Tel Asmar in Mesopotamia, dating back to approximately 2700 to 2600 BC. Glass beads have also been found in Mesopotamia sites such as the Ur III cemetery around 2100 BC and beneath the ziggurat at Assur circa 1800 BC, indicating their continued use. In Egypt, glass appears to have been in use by about 2000 BC during the period of the 12th dynasty. By the reign of Amenhotep II 1448 to 1420 BC of the 18th dynasty, Egypt and had developed actual glass making facilities. Excavation at the ancient city of Tel el Amarna 1450 to 1400 BC have uncovered the remains of a glass workshop along with fragments representing different stage of glass production. Early evidence of and growth of glass making in ancient India. While the presence of glass object was limited in early excavations, glazed statite or faience beads have been found in considerable numbers from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, suggesting knowledge of glazing techniques. Now, if we want to study it site wise, then the first site is Maski. Maski, a Chalcolithic site in southern Deccan, has provided some of the earliest evidence of glass uses in the Indian subcontinent. A total of 45 glass beads were recovered, distributed across different cultural layers, reflecting both continuity and development in glass production techniques over time. Now, distribution by periods: period 1 4 beads, period 2 6 beads, period 3 21 beads, medieval period 12 beads and unstratified context 2 beads were reported. The beads display a relatively limited color range, with blue and green being the most relevant throughout all period including the medieval. Additional colors observed among the beads included black, yellow, white, umber and shellac red. The glass used in these beads was either translucent or opaque, indicating variations in manufacturing technique. Indicating variation in manufacturing technique, it is important here. The most frequent bead shape were cylindrical, barrel shaped and circular. If the glass beads or the different kinds of beads is just showing their different kind of shapes, it is also showing the high technology regarding the glass technique. Each historical period exhibited distinct bead type. Period second had bicone and truncated circular bead, while period 3 featured spherical, grooved circular, cylindrical and a unique long convex square bead showing increased variety. The medieval period displayed more specialized form such as bicone and long cylindrical circular bead, suggesting advancement in style. The discovery of glass bead in the period 1 layer at Maski is further supported by findings from the excavation at Maheshwar Nawada Toli, where one of the 3 recovered beads was found in the period 3 deposit. This particular bead was small, conical in shape, ashy white in color and had a rounded base. Faience artifacts has also been discovered at Lal Kila associated with the ochre color pottery, OCP and copper hoard culture. The Central Indian Chalcolithic culture faience has been reported from several key sites including Ahad, Rangpur, Nivasa, Nawada Toli and Prakash. The most noteworthy evidence for early glass and its local production in India comes from Ahar. Excavation at this site yield 5 glass beads from the period 1C. However, only one bead from layer 2 and trench D has been illustrated and the exact stratigraphic position of the remaining 4 are unknown. Among the beads from Ahar, 2 beads from trench D2 were of a plain white translucent type and had a barrel shaped. 2 other were true tabular corpus glass and the fifth was made of opaque green glass. The corpus beads showed pulled bubble and had a rough surface. In the succeeding centuries, the glass industry in India grew steadily, gradually exhibiting greater technical sophistication which had reached a remarkable level by the early centuries of the Common Era as evidenced by finds from over 30 archaeological sites. A wide range of glass artifacts including beads, bangle, ear reel and eye beard have been unearthed in various colors such as blue, green, red, white, yellow, orange and purple. In addition to ornaments, glass tiles and fragments of vessel were also discovered at some times sites indicating diverse and expanded use of glass technology. Some of the most significant sites where glass artifacts have been discovered include Hastinapur, Takshashila, Ujjain, Maheshwar, Nasik, Bhita, Ahichhatra, Kopia. This site is very important regarding glass technology, Nalanda, Nivasa, Ter, Kolhapur, Kondapur, Prakash, Brahmagiri and Arikamedu. Now, example or evidence from Takshashila, glass discovery at Bhir Mound 6th 4th century BC. Excavation at the Bhir Mound in Takshashila revealed a rich assemblage of early glass artifacts. Among these were the beads with a wide range of color including blue, green, red, orange, umber and black. In addition to the beads, a striking dark green ear reel decorated with a floral motif along with eye beads, glass bangle and a glass seal were recovered. These findings point out cut. These findings point to an established knowledge of glass working in this period. Now, foreign influence reflected at Sirkap 1st century BC to 1st century AD. At a strategic location on the northwestern frontier of the Mauryan Empire, Takshashila was well positioned to interact with the absorbed foreign cultural and technological influence. This is especially evident in the city of Sirkap, where excavation have yielded a diverse range of glassware that clearly shows the imprint of foreign craftsmanship. The imported glass type found here include lace glass, ribbed ware, swirl glass, blue and white cameo glass, mosaic glass and millefiori glass. Millefiori, known for its intricate for floral and cellular patterns, is particularly associated with Roman glassmakers and the Venetian glass industry, indicating trade or cultural exchange with the Mediterranean world. Now, range of imported and locally produced glass artifacts. Among the notable finds from Sirkap, there are 3 glass flakes, sea green and one in jade green. The upper portion of a glass bottle appears to be Mediterranean origin, likely imported through long distance trade networks. Alongside these were several items that appear to have been manufactured locally, showcasing a blend of foreign technique and indigenous creativity. These includes composite glass beads, stating rings, engraved intaglion, intaglios, that glass disc lens like objects and large decorative tiles. Some of these artifacts were chemically analyzed. Red opaque glass and hematinium strips were found in contain high level of lead, while white opaque and turquoise blue sample showed significant antimony content. Green blue tiles had a high percentage of silica for hardness and notable amounts of potash, contributing to their durability, indicating a sophisticated understanding of materials and manufacturing process. Excavation at Ujjain uncovered glass artifacts such as bead, earring, reels and bangles. At Maheshwar, an annealed black glass seal portraying an elephant in motion and umber closed ear reels were found, suggesting refined artistic techniques and symbolic craftsmanship in glass. Nasik yielded ear reels, gold foil beads and rings. Similar gold foil beads along with multicolored glass beads were recovered from Bhita and Ahichatra, indicating a widespread decorative glass tradition across various regions. Several sites including Kundiyanpur, Ahichatra, Ujjain, Sravasti and Sirkap have revealed stratified eye beads, a sophisticated form of glass ornamentation. Their intricate construction implies influence for or transfer or technical expertise from foreign sources. At Kopia, located along the bank of the river Anoma in Basti district, Uttar Pradesh, archaeologists discover a substantial quantity of glass artifacts dating from 3rd century BC at the 3rd century AD. The glass objects from Kopia were predominantly made of soda lime glass with a notably high percentage of aluminum oxide 7 to 8% and trace of iron oxide. There were also massive black glass blocks, some weighing up to 120 pounds and measuring 18 into 12 into 9 inches, which strongly suggest large scale production. Now, the other examples, other archaeological evidences from Nalanda A renowned center of Buddhist education in ancient India has yielded glass object in the opaque blue and green, reflecting the continuation of glass usage. Excavation at Nivasa revealed a variety of glass bead including gold foil example as well as small glass vessel in green and blue hues. Brahma, Brahmapuri near Kolhapur, numerous oblate shaped beads were found in green, blue and yellow colors. Kondapur excavation revealed blue and blue green glass bead with copper or cobalt used as coloring agent. Prakash find comprised opaque and polychrome glass bangles and beads indicating advanced glass working technique. Now, the another example from Khairadi, Uttar Pradesh revealed finished and unfinished variety of red glass along with slag pieces and cane from period 2nd, indicating that the site served as a local center for the glass bead industry. From Khairadi period 1, micro beads of blue glass were also reported, further attesting to early glass working activities at the site. In Punjab, the Sindh Bhagwanpur, Rupnagar district excavation from period 1 indicates the use of glass for making beads and bangles. Excavation from Algarai, Tiruchirappalli district in Tamil Nadu, period 2, 1st century AD yielded innovative shapes of glass and paste beads. In Tirukkampuliyar and Urayur, Tiruchirappalli district, Tamil Nadu, there were half finished beads suggesting localized bead manufacturing activity. In Vadaur, Chengalpattu district, Tamil Nadu, excavation revealed bead in various stages of production along with stone crucible. These were found in association with the early medieval period, suggesting the existence of a structured and possibly large scale bead marking industry. Karaikadu reveals large quantities of finished and unfinished glass beads raw material for manufacturing and vitreous slag of amorphous shape found alongside rutile ware. Padavedu, Tiruvannamalai district, blowpipes, blowpipes and crucible were uncovered dating back to the 13th and 14th century. So, not only the archaeological evidences in the beads of glass as well as the crucible as well as the furnish also indicating the manufacturing practices of glass at that time period, because these all evidences go through with the scientific process of dating, with the scientific process to analyze particular structure of that particular technology. So, on the basis of scientific data, it is also clear that the glass technology was performed in the area. Reason wise, yes, it is technique is reason wise varying, where because the who made the glass technology, who were involved in the glass technology were different people in area wise, they were living another regional context. So, there should be a very regional variation is very obvious in this field, but the example of different crucible related to the glass technology, example of the furnish, example of the different beads, colors indicating the sophistication of glass technology. So, on the basis of whole these structure, we can understand on the basis of literary sources and archaeological sources, the glass industry in ancient India made significant progress by the early centuries of the first millennium BC. The glass makers demonstrated remarkable skill in controlling various techniques such as fusion temperature, molding, annealing, bloaching and gold foiling. These advancement reflects a deep understanding of glass making, allowing for the production of a wide range of glass objects from beads and bangles to integrate vessels. The evidence from numerous archaeological sites across India underscore the importance of glass technology not only in India's material culture, but also in its ability to integrate foreign influence and develop unique local style. And if you want to excel your knowledge regarding this topic, you can uh, uh, prefer these references which will be useful for the proper understanding of related to the glass technology. And thank you very much. Namaskar.